Welcome to the Complete AI Guide podcast brought to you by GeorgeEbbyMatthew.com. It's now available on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. Okay, so let's unpack this. For, well, any business really, but especially small and medium-sized ones, AI feels like this huge critical investment, but the decision fatigue, it's real.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking at spending potentially quite a bit of money.
Exactly. And the research we looked at, it really underscores this one. Fundamental truth. Success or failure. It completely hinges on picking the right mode of AI.
Right. Is it automation? Is it augmentation? Or are we talking about agents?
Yeah, get that match right tool to task you in. Get it wrong and, well, you just bought some very expensive chaos.
That's the core tension, isn't it?
Yeah.
So our mission in this deep dive, really, is to take that research, which, let's be honest, can be pretty dense, and pull out some concrete real-world examples. We want to give you, the learner, a sort of clear mental map.
Right, to help choose the best AI strategy.
Exactly. Whether your goal is, scaling predictable efficiency or maybe improving the quality of human decisions or even getting into that hyper-personalized real-time adaptation stuff.
And crucially, before we even get into those three modes, let's nail down the foundational principle. The thing that dictates when any of this actually works.
Okay.
The research just hammered this home again and again. AI is not about replacing humans. It's about amplifying what they do best.
That's so key. It's a force multiplier, right?
Yeah.
Not a substitute.
Totally. If you go into it thinking, right, total replacement, you're already missing the massive middle ground where, honestly, the real value seems to be.
Yeah. It's the difference between just building a reliable machine and, well, building a smarter worker, essentially.
Okay.
So to understand how to apply that amplification idea, we kind of have to start at the simplest end of the spectrum, the most rigid one. Mode 1, automation.
Automation. Okay, the classic efficiency play. We get that this mode is for the predictable stuff, the repetitive tasks. But what's the trade-off? There's always a trade-off, right?
The trade-off is basically zero flexibility. Automation, it excels at predictable repetitive tasks. It handles volume consistency perfectly.
Sounds good so far.
But its major limitation, and it is major, is that it offers little flexibility. Think of it like a perfect robot just following instructions to the letter.
Okay.
It can't deviate. It can't interpret context. It certainly can't innovate.
Right. So let's make that concrete with the accounting example. Say you run a small accounting firm.
Okay.
You automate the routine stuff, monthly invoices, payment reminders, maybe basic reconciliations. The system's reliable, churns out hundreds of accurate invoices.
And that saves a ton of time.
Good.
Staff only step in for the exceptions, right?
Exactly, like when a client disputes a charge or maybe a payment gets kicked back.
But here's the crunch. Here's a limitation. What if a client needs a really specific, customized invoice format, something outside the defined rules?
The automation just hits a wall.
Completely. Hits a wall. You have to pull that task right back into the human workflow. No wiggle room.
Okay, so it's either 100% on or 100% off. Got it. What about the boutique retailer example, using automation for reordering inventory?
Yeah, so it's set up to automatically restock popular items, SKUs, when the stock drops below, say, 50 units.
Works fine for normal sales patterns, presumably.
Right, for the day-to-day, it's consistent. But what happens when things change? Suddenly.
Like their product goes viral on TikTok or something?
Exactly. Demand spikes 500% overnight. Now, the automated system, because it's bound by that simple rule, that threshold,
It might still trigger the order for 50 units.
it might trigger the standard order, yeah.
Right.
But it won't negotiate a bulk discount for the sudden high volume. It won't check alternative suppliers to maybe speed up delivery. It definitely won't anticipate potential shipping delays because of the surge.
So the failure to adapt isn't just a small hiccup. They lose a massive opportunity.
The huge opportunity cost. So the consequence of relying only on automation, it isn't just a minor delay. It's a structural inability to react to valuable anomalies or sudden market shifts.
Right. So for the small business owner listening, automation is, okay, it's the lowest complexity, probably the lowest initial investment.
Generally, yes.
But you have to be absolutely sure the task needs zero judgment, zero external context.
That is the key takeaway for automation. It's ideal only for those structured, rule-based tasks where reliability is absolutely paramount. If it's predictable, automate it.
But if it requires any kind of nuance...
You have to move up the ladder. You need the next mode.
Okay, well, let's explore that nuance then. If automation is too rigid, Mode 2 AI augmented workflows is meant to bridge that gap.
Okay.
But isn't there a risk here? Is relying on augmentation just creating, I don't know, an expensive new layer of bureaucracy?
That's a fair question.
Why not just stick with simple automation for, say, 80% of tasks and just let humans handle the tricky 20% manually?
It's a totally valid business concern, especially for SMBs watching every penny. But what the research shows is that for certain high-stakes tasks, the cost of an error in pure automation, well, it far outweighs the cost of having that human oversight. Augmentation combines the efficiency gain with essential human judgment. The core principle here is that having humans in the loop is essential, not just for a final sign-off, but for safety, for quality control.
That makes sense. So we're talking about situations where the AI does the heavy lifting, the grunt work maybe,
Exactly.
but the human keeps the ultimate veto power and the responsibility.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You got it. Give us an example, maybe in customer service. How does that play out?
Okay, think about customer service triage, maybe at a growing e-commerce store. The AI scans all the incoming emails, the chats.
Okay.
It figures out the sentiment, the urgency, like, is this a payment failure or just a general question? And it can even draft suggested responses.
Right, so the efficiency boost is huge there. The agent isn't starting from scratch every time.
No, exactly. But, and this is the augmentation part, the human agent must review and personalize those drafts.
Oh, okay.
They add the empathy, the specific knowledge about maybe that customer's history, ensure the tone is right for the brand.
Right, that human touch prevents a generic, maybe overly corporate response from annoying a loyal customer.
Exactly. The AI brings the speed, the human ensures the quality and the relationship.
And that strategic separation, it's maybe even clearer in something like the legal field.
How so?
A mid-sized law firm, they might use AI for complex document review.
Yeah.
Summarizing really dense contracts, flagging potentially high-risk clauses, maybe cross-referencing against case law. The AI handles the sheer volume and speed.
Okay, makes sense. Saves a lot of reading time.
A ton. But the lawyers, the actual trained experts, they interpret those outputs.
Yeah.
The AI might flag a clause simply as high risk.
But the lawyer decides what that means strategically.
Exactly. Should we fight this clause? Accept it but add a counter?
Yeah.
Or does this kill the whole deal? The AI informs, the lawyer decides. That's a world away from simple automation.
Yeah, that's a critical distinction.
And maybe the most compelling case is in medical diagnostics.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Think radiology. A clinic uses AI to pre-screen images, maybe highlighting tiny anomalies that a tired human eye might miss.
Okay, that could genuinely save lives.
It could. And it definitely reduces review time.
Yeah.
However, the radiologist absolutely, 100% retains the final decision-making power. Augmentation acts like a safety net, a productivity booster.
But the final high-stakes judgment call remains human.
Always.
Okay, so augmentation seems like the sweet spot when you need speed, but you absolutely cannot afford errors. Risk aversion is key.
That's a good way to put it.
But you mentioned a drawback earlier. It requires continuous training, monitoring. For an SMB, that sounds, well, resource-intensive. What does that ongoing oversight actually involve?
Yeah, it's not set and forget. It's fundamentally a continuous feedback loop.
Meaning?
Meaning every time a human agent tweaks that AI-suggested response, or every time a lawyer overrides an AI's risk assessment, that action needs to be fed back into the system, ideally.
Ah, so you're constantly teaching the AI, refining its understanding.
You're teaching it where the human judgment boundaries lie. And yes, that needs dedicated staff time for monitoring, for quality control. It's definitely mid-level complexity, requires a moderate upfront investment.
But the payoff is in reducing errors and maintaining high-quality output.
That's the idea. So if human judgment is truly essential, augmentation is your starting point. It needs rigor and training, absolutely. But it lets you scale expertise without losing that vital human context.
Got it. Okay. So if human judgment is key, augmentation.
Right. Which brings us to the top tier, the most complex level, Mode 3, AI-driven agents.
Okay. So if automation is like following a script and augmentation is maybe writing a first draft, agents sound like they're directing the movie autonomously.
Haha. That's not a bad analogy, actually. They operate much more on their own. They thrive in complex, fast-changing environments.
But the research gave us the biggest warning here, right? This autonomy demands really rigorous governance and oversight.
Absolutely true.
We're trusting the AI to make pretty significant decisions, often in real time.
That is the essential difference. Agents aren't just processing data like the other modes. They're executing dynamic strategies based on variables that are constantly shifting.
Okay, give us an example.
Look at supply chain optimization. Say, a regional food distributor. Agents don't just place standard inventory orders.
What do they do then?
They adjust delivery routes on the fly. They reallocate perishable stock between depots. They might even shift driver assignments all in real time.
Wow.
They're accounting for things like traffic jams, sudden weather changes, maybe a last-minute supplier delay, all happening at once.
That ability to juggle multiple interconnected factors instantly, that's what really separates them from the fixed rules of automation, isn't it?
Completely. A human supervisor isn't micromanaging the daily routing. They only step in for the really extreme exceptions, like if a major warehouse suddenly has to shut down.
The agent handles the day-to-day, minute-by-minute operational chaos.
Pretty much. The complexity is enormous. And this brings us right to that crucial point about governance, especially when there's financial risk baked in.
Right, like the dynamic pricing example in e-commerce.
Exactly. AI agents adjusting product prices autonomously, responding instantly to inventory levels, demand signals, what competitors are doing in real time. A price could literally change 5 times in an hour.
Okay, that's delegating huge financial responsibility to an AI. So what does robust governance actually look like for this mode? How does an SMB make sure the agent doesn't suddenly, I don't know, crash their margins just to chase short-term sales volume?
Governance here is all about setting the guardrails before the agent starts making decisions.
Okay, define the playing field.
Right. It means having clear audit trails. You need to be able to go back and see why the agent made every decision. It requires managers to set strict, non-negotiable risk limits.
Like what?
Like maximum allowable daily loss exposure, hard floors and ceilings for prices, thresholds for how low inventory can get before triggering different actions.
Ah, okay, so the humans manage the parameters, the strategic boundaries the AI operates within.
Exactly. Rather than checking every single price change, they manage the rules of the AI's autonomy, not every individual action.
That makes sense. And the final example was personalized marketing for a subscription service.
Yeah, in that scenario, agents manage campaigns at a massive scale. They adapt the messaging, the channels, the offers for potentially millions of users based on individual engagement history, seasonal trends,
All happening in real time.
all in real time.
Yeah.
The agent is constantly running little A/B tests, optimizing ad spend, shifting budget between campaigns autonomously.
So what's left for the human marketing team?
They're freed up. They review the overall strategy, the high-level performance metrics, set the campaign goals, while the agent handles the incredibly granular day-to-day optimization experiments.
Okay. So the key takeaway for agents: highest level of adaptability, fantastic for real-time responsiveness, but highest complexity, biggest resource commitment, and they absolutely demand the most rigorous ongoing governance because that autonomy equals significant potential risk if it's not managed super carefully.
You nailed it. So to just quickly bring this all together for you listening,
Yeah.
we've walked through the 3 main modes AI delivers value for SMBs.
Right. Automation for that predictable efficiency using strict rules.
Augmentation for combining speed with safety, especially where human judgment is absolutely non-negotiable.
And agents for that real-time adaptation needed in really complex dynamic situations.
And if we zoom out to the bigger picture again, the real power of AI for any growing business, it isn't just about having the latest tech. It's about enabling that business to, well, respond faster, scale smarter, and make better decisions.
Critically, though, as all the research stressed, this only really happens if deployed in the right mode for the problem at hand. You've got to match the tool to the job. Choose your mode wisely. Match the complexity to the actual requirement.
Couldn't agree more.
Which brings us nicely to our final provocative thought, something for you to consider based on this deep dive. Thinking about these 3 modes, automation, augmentation, or AI-driven agents, which approach has worked, or maybe even failed, in your own experience? And what lesson did you learn from that about the crucial importance of matching the AI type to the specific business task and its inherent risk? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.
Welcome to the Complete AI Guide podcast, brought to you by GeorgeABMatthew.com. It's now available on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode.